and a hearty welcome to all of you who are watching this evening's program on clearing past karma. Last Wednesday, when we heard the first part, I received some questions from various people. So I think it would be better to start with the questions because they may be the questions of many people around. As I know that regarding karma, there are always many questions. And so I welcome you to the headquarters, I would say, because as it is streaming from the headquarters, most welcome to all of you and to our Canberra Center and our dear sisters, Sister Panna and Sister Catherine, and Brother Satish from Sydney, I would say. So all the brothers and sisters who are watching this program, coming up with the questions that I had received. The first question was, why do some arrogant and rude people never face any problems in life? They always seem to live in prosperity, unaffected by their karma. Do they ever face their karma in this life? Well, I would say karma is like a shadow, and that shadow is inseparable. Nobody can ever separate a person from its shadow. So, if not now, then maybe in the next life, we would say. But in this life also, whenever a person is arrogant and is rude, do you think he feels happy at that moment after insulting anybody? Although they may be living in prosperity, but at the same time, they never earn blessings from anyone. So that is the greatest loss that they are going into. Another thing that they said they live in prosperity. That prosperity is not due to their present karma of arrogance. Maybe in the past they have behaved, they have helped so many people, they've earned blessings. So it is just like, I would say, that a person who has a bank balance and in his account, until the bank balance is there, definitely he will be using that bank balance and he would be enjoying the fruits of that bank balance. But as soon as the bank balance is over, if the credit is more, and because of his arrogance and rudeness, there is no debit in the, no credit in the bank account, and if it is just going out and out and out, then what will happen? Definitely, I would say the time will come when the bank balance is nil. So when the balance is nil completely, definitely that is when he would start repaying for whatever he has done. So then the repayment starts. Another thing, it depends upon the intensity also. With what intensity that arrogance and rudeness was shown. And so, definitely, if the intensity is very powerful, then in this birth itself, we can see. Just as if I sow some seeds in the garden, and if they are tomato seeds, I can reap the fruits within 3 months. But if I sow the seeds of maybe rice or wheat or any grains, I would reap within 6 months. But if I sow the seed of a fruit, it may take 2 years, 3 years till I get the fruit. And if I sow a seed of a coconut, it may take up 10 years also, or 12 years to get that fruit. Similarly, it depends upon the intensity with which I have sown that karma. If the intensity is very powerful, I may reap within a week, 10 days, 15 days, or 3 months, or 6 months also. And it will make us realize at that moment, yes, this is the fruit of my action that I had done. It will make a person realize. But supposing if it is after 2 years or 5 years or 10 years, then we may not realize. As soon as the bank balance is over and we start reaping the fruits, then many a times the nature of individual is such in today's world to put the blame on to maybe God or maybe someone else, that God is responsible for whatever I'm experiencing in my life. Let me give you a golden rule today. And the golden rule is that it is better if we not point out the finger of blame to anybody else, not even God. Because God is never responsible for our actions. When we take birth and come to this world, God gives us with two presents. And which are these two presents? The two presents are, first present is a wonderful intellect, where the wisdom is stored. So this is the first gift, which can decide what to do, what not to do, what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is bad. So we have this wonderful gift from God when we are born, when we come to this earth. And the second gift that we receive from God is freedom of choice. Now that I've understood on the basis of the wisdom, what is good, what is bad, what is right, what is wrong, now I have the freedom of choice of what to do, whether I want to go for the right action or whether I want to go for a wrong action. Supposing my conscience is telling me, go for the right, because it is always said that the inner voice or the conscience never leads you to a wrong answer. It will always guide you to the right answer. And when it guides us to the right answer and we want to go for it, that is our first preference. That is our first choice. But then the mind starts playing games. And more than the mind, sometimes we are in such a company. They also play games with us and lead us to that path which tells us, oh, no. Let's take this one. Let's take this one. This will be a shortcut. We'll enjoy, we'll prosper, we'll do this, we'll do that. And this is how, when either we listen to the mind's games and we are tricked by the mind's games of various options that the mind gives us, that look, although the conscience is telling you not to do this, but listen, look at the world. What is the world doing? And still they are enjoying. So why are you going that way? Go this way. And if the mind is trying to convince the intellect, which is full of wisdom and giving the right answers, still we may argue in front of the mind. No, I think afterwards I'll have to reap for this action. But the mind says, no, who has seen? Who has said that you have to repay your actions? So these are the dialogue that is going inside. Like supposing a person wants to steal and he sees something lying there, there's no one watching him. So the mind starts playing the game, take it, take it. But from here, the intellect, on the basis of the wisdom and the righteousness that is stored in the wisdom, says, look, this is not good. To steal away anybody's things is not good. So the mind again gives an answer. But who is watching you? Nobody. Nobody would ever know also that you have taken. People have trust on you. Still, the intellect is trying to say, no, because his conscience is not allowing him. The conscience stops again and again. But then, either the mind is influenced by a wrong company of people. And so when they say, okay, come on, do it. No problem. We are there. We can support you. We didn't see anyone. We didn't see anything here. And this is when a person becomes a victim of that weak sanskara. And so it takes away. But that day, when the mind has won over the intellect, which was so wise and was trying to guide him, and we slap that intellect, the conscious feels bad. Maybe that night you cannot sleep. That is the first immediate punishment that we get of our karma, bad, wrong karma. And once we try to just pressurize that intellect again and again, that is when the intellect stops interfering. So, okay, you can go ahead, whatever you want to do. Now I won't guide you. Now I won't tell you anything. So that is how we get influenced. So these two gifts that are given by God, but if we just try to squeeze the voice, the inner voice, the conscious, the intellect, wisdom, then it won't guide us. So when God has given us these two gifts, then he says, why should I interfere? As such also, when your child gets old and goes into the teens, and still if you start guiding your child, look, you have to do this. You don't have to do this. You have to sit here. You don't have to sit here. You have to go this way. You don't have to go this way. After he gets into the 14, 15 years, what will he say? I know. I am having that common sense. I know what to do. I'm grown up now. Don't guide me. Don't think that I'm still a child. Means I've crossed my childhood. Now I'm a grown up. I can understand what things are and how it's going on. So that's why it is said, after 14, even if you want to guide your child, you cannot instruct him. You have to become a friend to him. Similarly, the mind is also such. When it gets into a wrong company, a bad company, and we start performing actions on the basis of our arrogance and rudeness, well, we are accumulating some wrongdoings in our account also. And so, as soon as this bank balance is over, I will have to reap that as well. So today, maybe because of the bank balance of the good karmas that I have, I'm enjoying, I'm in prosperity, but that does not mean that I won't have to reap for it. So this is how, if not in this life, definitely in the next lives also, we'll have to face our karmas. They come in front of us. We have to answer them. We have to go through them. We have to experience that pain for whatever we have given to others. We cannot be free from that. So I hope that question is okay. The second question is, if you realize that someone is still very angry with you because you could not support them in the past, how do you resolve that karma when that person is still in your life? Supposing that a person is very angry because of some things that happened between you, so it really hurt him, so he's still angry, the anger is there within him, and because you could not support him in the past, so in order to resolve that karma, well, I would say that it is better to maybe say sorry. If that person is not willing to appreciate your sorry, then it is better from the core of your heart. You can write a beautiful letter saying sorry, and it will be appreciated. Or at the same time, just keep on giving good wishes. Visualize that that person has forgiven you. His heart has become clean. The more I hold on to that vision and I constantly give those pure positive vibrations to that soul, and especially in the morning hours, just as it is said before in the olden days when we did not have these mobiles and we had landlines. And if we wanted to call somebody and the whole day if the phone was engaged, then it was better to catch that person in the morning hours. Because that time maybe they're in a relaxed mood and you call them and they answer the phone. The same thing during the day, people are so much engaged in so many activities, their mind is constantly busy. So if you are giving them good vibrations, it may not be accepted or it may not be received well. So the best thing is in the early morning hours when they are sleeping, at that time, let me give them those pure vibrations, beautiful thoughts. And you attract that vision, as it is said in the book Secret. I hope you have read that book Secret, which gives you that secret of the law of attraction. And you visualize constantly as if that person's heart is clean and he's become so friendly with you again now. He has forgiven you and he has become light. He has shed off that burden from his heart and he has become so light. And this way, maybe it may take some time to heal with your good vibrations, but definitely it will work. The law of attraction works. And the more you create that wonderful vision in front of you and regularly, normally we say to people here in India that if for 21 days in one place, same time, the same type of thoughts regularly, if you just go on giving them, definitely within 21 days, you'll find the result. But it should be the same place, the same time, and the same type of thoughts for 21 days continuously. Or if it is a big karma, then we ask people to sit for 41 days. And we find that the result is seen and experienced by so many people here. So this is the way we can clear our past karmas also. And those people really appreciate. I personally have done this in my life with some souls, and definitely I've seen that the karma is very beautifully cleared, and how, although we were not there to support them during that time because of some of our limitations, one day the person will definitely realize what your limitation was, and so would definitely forgive you and clean the heart, remove that burden from the heart, and it will be easy to be together again. So I hope this question is also answered. The third question, I've seen that the people who help others and are kind usually face more problems. How would you explain this? Well, I would say it is not that the people who help others and who are kind are facing more problems, just as I mentioned before also. It depends upon what my bank balance is stored with. I have to clear off that first when I experience this. So maybe it is because of some past wrong actions that were done. That is why I'm going through so many problems. But as soon as that account is cleared, this account would start and will give me that happiness also. It is as such like, supposing if I've given you $500 on loan maybe, or as an aid, but with that promise that you'll return as soon as you will have your money. And supposing with that $500, you go out to do some social work and you help people. You are being kind to people. And then when the day comes when I need that money and I say, well, I want my money back. It seems you have a lot of money because you're helping people. So, and you have been so kind to all of them. And you say, but anyway, if I'm helping, it is just because of you. So, well, we can have that account shared. And you would say, well, if I want to help people, I can do it myself. Why should I have to be a partner with your karma? So you return me back my money, whatever I want to do with my money, I can do that. So that is your logic. The same thing, whatever I've done wrong, I have to return, repay from whomever I've taken, whomever I've done wrong. And that is why the problems are there. And sometimes it is also said, problems are the creation of a weak mind. Sometimes the problems are there because on this side I'm doing help, I'm being kind to people, but at the same time my mind is so weak, it is generating a lot of negative thoughts. I don't know what will happen. I'm doing this, but what if people criticize, or somebody says this, or somebody does that? So constantly negative thoughts are also evolving in my mind. And those negative thoughts are generating such energy around me, which is not pleasant, definitely. It is generating negative energy around me. So that negative energy is going to attract all the problems in my life. So it is better to understand this law of karma when you are doing good things. Do not generate weak thoughts. Do not generate negative thoughts about the self or any doubts about the self, any assumptions about the self. I don't know what will happen. I don't know what will people say. I don't know what will be the reaction of this and that. And so much weak thoughts. And these weak thoughts are really generating such vibrations, generating such energy, which is attracting all the negative things towards, which comes in form of problems. So when you do some good things, always be charged with a lot of positive energy, with a great deal of zeal and enthusiasm. Feel the happiness, fill it with God's love, and let that love be showered upon others also. And in this way, we find when we are charged with a positive energy, everything starts coming to me in a more positive way, which gives me that inner satisfaction also. It gives me that inner happiness also, and all good things come up on my way. So I hope that question is also answered. The fourth question is, what is the best karma that would help me settle my past karmic accounts? Best karma. The best karma, I would say, is when I do it with soul conscious stage. Let me give you an example that when a farmer sows seeds, he selects the best seeds from the market, maybe, which can give him ample of fruits, right? At the same time, if he is selecting the best seeds, but which are not good for that soil, the soil quality is something else which has other nutrients in it which helps grow other things. Supposing if I take strawberry seeds and I'm trying to sow it, but the soil is so damp, which is good for some other products maybe, but not good for strawberry. Because all that water and moisture and the humidity, so even if there are best seeds, but that soil would not support. So they may die, they may not give me the returns as much that I should get. So when a farmer selects seeds, the best quality seeds, but he has to see the quality of the soil also. Get it tested. How much humidity, how much nutrients, which nutrients, what percentage, etc. He has to see the soil quality. Together with that, he needs to add manure also. He has to see the quality of water. If the water is very salty, maybe the best seeds also cannot reap out best fruits. So he has to see the quality of the water also, whether there is a lot of saline or whether there is a lot of sodium in that water, what type of water there is. If it is sweet water, river water, then definitely it will flourish. At the same time, the quality of heat, the sun rays. If it is in a cold place, maybe I want to grow mangoes, but I won't be able to grow mangoes where there is a lot of cold, where there is a lot of snow. I won't be able to grow that. So it depends how much sunlight. And at the same time, if everything is okay, then you need to see that the birds do not come and spoil the fruits. So you have to protect the fruits also from those birds who would come, and otherwise they may just spoil the fruit. Or maybe there should be no insects. So I need to spray the insecticides also from time to time to protect my fruits, etc. And then we can get the fruits in a proper way. Similarly, in our life also, the life is like the soil. So the intentions, before I sow those seeds, with what intentions I'm sowing the seed, that is depends, that is the quality. If I'm doing good actions with good intentions, good state of mind, a pure state of mind in my life. So the soil should be like full of good character. A man is known by the character he has. So the character is the quality of the soil. If the character is bad, and you sow the seeds with bad intention, even if it is good, then the fruits will be of arrogance only and rudeness only. People are sometimes arrogant about their good actions also. Rude because they are doing something good also. So that has to be checked. Then, are we nourishing with good company, with good attitude? So the sunlight, do we have the rays of the Supreme filled in that actions? The blessings of the Supreme has to go into those actions. And at the same time, I have to protect from the birds or from the insects. And which are the birds and insects? If I indulge in any wrong company, because people are attracted to good personalities, and sometimes they try to put their intentions in our minds. So this is spoiling the fruit. The fruit is now ready, but the fruit gets spoiled. So I need to be very careful when I do good actions. So in short, I would say, instead of taking care of all these little things, the best thing that we are taught in spirituality is perform each and every action in soul conscious stage in the remembrance of the Supreme Father, and nourish yourself constantly with the wisdom, with the knowledge, and that will definitely bring a lot of change in your intentions, in your attitudes, in your consciousness, in your state of mind, and that will definitely reap you good action, good fruits only. So this is the best way to do good actions, and these good actions will definitely help you. Then when the bank balance increases, then definitely you can settle out whatever your credits are. So you can settle them very easily. Anything you have done wrong, go ahead, say sorry, apologize, and you can see. Nowadays in the world, people, for small things also, they have created this habit of sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. But at the same time, it is also said sorry does not make a dead man alive. You kill a person and then you say, I'm sorry. I did not have any intention to kill him. But that action, it was wrong. So it is not just lip sorry. At every time I do something and then I'm saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. No, when you really feel sorry from inside, you do not repeat that again. Then it is said, yes, you've made efforts and you are really feeling that sorry. And you really apologize with your true heart. And in this way, you can settle away your accounts, past accounts. So one thing is doing good karma, and with the power of good karma, clearing those accounts. The second technique is either apologizing with your true heart and clearing off. That person should definitely forgive you also. then the account is clear. Just like, as I said, if I borrow $500 from you and then I do not want to repay, or maybe I do not have that much to repay, but the other person should say, okay, I forgive you, keep it, doesn't matter, I don't need that. Okay, so that means the account is clear. But if that person expects me to give back that $500, then I cannot say I'm sorry, I can't repay you. He has to forgive me from that true heart. Then only my account will be cleared. Otherwise, it won't be cleared, isn't it? And the third is, either we remember the Supreme Father, take the power from Him, and we burn those past actions. Just as if I stand out in the sun and I take a convex lens, put it in front of the sun, let the rays focus on the piece of paper, you can see it starts burning. Similarly, the Supreme, who is almighty, all powerful, radiating, so luminous, I remember Him, I focus my attention on Him and allow His rays to just focus. And the moment they are so concentrated in the concentrated form, then those past karmas can be burnt, can be completely finished off also. So there are certain actions which I'm not aware of, maybe my past life, but at the same time, they are bothering me. So I don't know why my happiness is being just, my mood just switches off, or why there are so much of inner fluctuations in my mood. And I don't understand myself. So that is when I allow His rays to focus, and from that concentrated form, I allow it to burn. And these are three ways I can settle my past karmic accounts. And the fifth question is, it is said that by remembering God, you can settle your past karma. Do you think this is true? And if so, can you please explain how it happens? Which I've just explained, that when I focus my attention, when I concentrate my mind on that Supreme and allow the power and rays to be concentrated here at the center of my forehead, on my soul, and you can feel no other thoughts. It is like as if there is complete sweet silence stage, and it is so much concentrated that from there it starts burning the past karmic accounts. And this is how I can clear it. So these were the questions that we had last time. And if you still have some more questions, you can just write down to us again. But I would say that many a times people have this thought in the mind: why is God giving me so much of sufferings? Why is God not helping me? Whether it is my fortune, which is such, has God created such a fortune for me? Well, let me just give you a story that once there was a king, and a wise person was just happened to pass by his kingdom. And so when he heard that the king of this kingdom is so good, he goes up to meet the king. And he had two fruits. So he gives as a present to the king and said, these fruits are so good. And if you eat this fruit, you can have longevity. Means your age will increase, you can live long. So after giving him the two fruits, meeting him, and then he takes leaves and goes away. Now the king had these two fruits. He looked at the fruits and he thought, well, I have two sons and they are so beautiful sons. He loved his sons so much. So he had the desire that let my sons have a good life, a long life. So he calls both his prince and gives one fruit to each one and says, you can do whatever you want to with this fruit. And this fruit is a special fruit which can give you a long life. So the first prince goes and immediately cuts the fruit and eats the fruit. But the second son, he ate the fruit also, but at the same time he kept the seed and he sowed the seed of that fruit so that he can have that tree in his own garden and he can have many fruits so that he can share with everyone. Who is wise enough? The first one ate and threw away the seed. The second one ate the fruit and sowed the fruit. Similarly, let us become wise people like the second prince. Eat the fruits of our actions, but at the same time, do not finish off there itself. But with that ability, with that potential that we have received, let us do more good karmas. And the more we perform good karmas with that, it is just like sowing the seeds with good intentions of this good life. And forever, we can be reaping the fruits of those good actions. So, as I said in the beginning, God is not interfering with anybody's karma. If he starts interfering with each and everyone's karma, because all the souls on this world are his children, he cannot be partial to one and some and not others, because every child is his child. So he says, I've given you this intellect and I've given you this freedom of choice. Now you are free, you have the free will to make your own choices of what type of actions you want to do and move ahead in the life. But sometimes there is this saying, destiny or the fortune. How is fortune created? Some people are working so hard in life, but still when we look at their fortune, as if they're always laboring in their life throughout. They're never able to experience the fruits. Why is that? And as our time is also coming to its end, I'd just like to share. Once there was a king who was passing through the jungle and he heard some people arguing with one another. And everyone was boasting as if they are great. I am great. I am great. So the king thought, who is this who's arguing so much and trying to prove themselves that they are great? Who are they? So he just looks at them and there were three people. And these three people were arguing as if fighting amongst them. Each one was saying, I am most powerful, so I am great. So when they see the king, all the three of them says, now the king is there and he can give us this decision, who is most powerful amongst us three. So the king says, well, who are you? Can you just introduce yourself to me? So the first one says, I am karma. The second one says, I am fortune. And the third one says, I am intellect. Can you tell us who is the most powerful amongst all the three of us? So the king says, he was a very intellectual and wise person. So he says, well, I cannot give the decision like that. You'll have to prove your power and your greatness first. Then I'll give you the decision. Then I'll give you the decision. So they say, okay, tell us whom can we prove our capability on, our power on. So there was a woodcutter going by that way. So seeing the woodcutter, the king says, okay, can you prove on that woodcutter? So Karma was very anxious. So he says, I will go first. Okay. So the king said, I'll give you one week each on that woodcutter. You'll have to prove yourself, your power and your greatness. Then I'll give you the decision. So first of all, the karma enters into that person, the woodcutter. He enters into his life, takes charge over his organs, and that day he does a lot of effort. He cuts a lot of wood. He works so hard, but fortune is not with him. Intellect is also not there. So he does a lot of work. Now he wanted to carry all that wood which he had cut the whole day to the market to sell it off. But he did not have any instrument in which he could put, or he did not have any such van or anything, because he was a poor woodcutter. And he could not lift all that wood at one time. So he thought, let me take whatever I can lift, and the other wood, let me hide it in some of the bushes here. So that when I sell off this, I come again and I take the other wood. So he hides that other wood in the bushes. Whatever he could lift, he lifts and goes to the market, sell off that wood, and comes back to the bush to get the other wood. But because fortune was not with him, so all that wood was stolen. Somebody stole it. Battery is running low. So again he goes. The same thing happened throughout the week. And every time, whatever he used to hide in different places was stolen. So after a week, the condition of his life was the same. Only a little bit of extra effort which he made, that he was able to accumulate a little bit of money. But that did not improve his condition. So the next week, it was the time for the fortune. So the fortune entered him, and that person just on his way home from the market saw that a person was selling some lottery tickets. So he goes up to that person and buys a lottery ticket. So now fortune was with him. So he buys that lottery ticket and he wins the lottery. A lot of money has come, but no intellect and no power of karma. He became idle, thought, why should I work now? Why should I do some work? No, nothing, no doing work. So he starts using that money so lavishly and gamble and do this and parties and this. And within a week, all the money was gone because the intellect was not there how to use the money. And he became idle, not work also, but not plan also, and just wasted that money. After a week, his condition was the same as before. Now the third week came, and it was time for the intellect to enter that person. So he enters the woodcutter and he starts thinking. He plans. As soon as he cuts the wood and his axe got a little bit blunt, he again sharpens it, again does it. So that day he cut a lot of wood than what he used to cut normally. Now, how to take all this wood? Because he was not going to hide them in the bush. So he plans. So from the jungle, he takes down those creepers, and with the help of the creepers, he takes the wood, ties them with the creeper, and makes something to pull. So it became like a cart, and he put all the wood in, and with the help of the creeper, he took all the wood into the market. And in the market, he sell off, so he got a little bit more money. With that more money, the first thing he did was he bought another axe. At night, he would sharpen both the axes and go to the jungle to cut wood. As soon as the first axe was blunt, the second axe he started, so he cut some more wood. He again takes it to the market by tying those creepers again, and that day he got some more money. Every day he got some more money, more money, more money. After a week, the condition of his life was improving. So when all the three went, it was seen that when karma entered, the condition was the same throughout the week, only a little bit extra. When fortune entered, he just finished it off, did not do any good karma with it. But it was when the intellect was there that he was able to improve his condition of life. Similarly, some people are working very hard, but because they do not work with the proper intellect, so they are not able to use what they put efforts into. They are not able to regain according to what the efforts they put in. Intellect is the powerful one. Similarly, even if we get a good fortune, but if we don't have the intellect to plan out how to use that fortune in the right manner, then also our condition is going to become the worst. But if the intellect is there, the power of karma also comes in, and the fortune also comes in. So where the intellect is, both come together. And all the three, when they get into one place, they can really do wonders in life also. So this is what karma teaches us. Okay.